Hello, in this vlog I'm going to break down a jam that I just posted using the Digitact, the Bearing & Neutron, and this VCV rack patch. So if you want to go listen to that first, link in the description. So I'll start by just going through, I'm just going to break down each part. So I'll start with the ARP. I sequenced this into the Digitact using the new step record feature in the 1.2 firmware, which was pretty cool. It's a C minor 6 ARP with a couple of notes transposed on the way down. And I play with that throughout the song, so it's a C minor chord, but you can also play an A flat over the top of it. And so the melody and the bass line kind of ambiguously switch between the two, which is pretty cool. A couple of things we can do with this ARP. So this ARP is sequenced in the Digitact. The sound source is the Neutron. Pretty simple sound. It's just a combining two oscillators in their top range. Simple attack delay. I haven't actually done any patching on it. It's just using all the default patch lines. A few things I do in the song. Obviously, open up the filter. Also crank up the tone on the overdrive unit. I've got a relatively slow LFO going into the filter as well, and to start with there's not much of it, but I increased that mod depth a little bit just to give it a bit more interest over time. One cool effect I used near the start of the song is to crank the delay unit. So I'm using a bit of delay here to get that kind of reverby sound. And I'll crank the feedback of the delay over 100%, and you end up getting an overdrive sort of effect. You'll hear it here. I've also cranked the drive right up on the overdrive unit, so I'm actually looking to get a little bit of noise and a little bit of clipping here, which I think is pretty cool. So that's the ARP. I don't think I'm doing anything with that here. Yeah, I'm not doing any processing. Actually, I'm putting a little bit of sidechain from the kick into it. That's the only thing I'm doing in VCV rack on that, and probably a little bit of, a little bit of reverb actually as well here. So that's without reverb. That's with reverb, so it's pretty subtle. Alright, next up, let's look at the kick sound. So again, this is sequenced on the Digitact. I've used a little bit of conditional probability to just give it a little bit of interest. It's sending a single MIDI note out, which we're capturing in this MIDI gate unit here. So every C4 turns into on channel 11 turns into a gate, which triggers this drum synthesizer, which I haven't used before. I really like it. Gave me some good options for the kick. Mostly, I didn't really play around with it too much, but you can change the tuning. Add just a little bit of sort of resonant kick on the front. I don't know what the right noise for that is, right name for that. And then that goes straight into the mixer. I'm using this kick to drive a little bit of side chaining on the bass and ARP. In the end, I didn't end up using it very much, but it was something I was experimenting with throughout the patch. So that's the kick. The hats as well come out of this drum synthesizer, so I'll turn those on. And so there are two effects going on here. The first is some modulation of the decay. So let me actually turn that off, and I'll turn the swell off as well, actually. So that's just a straight 16th hats. It's pretty boring. So, but the decay kind of opens up the hats a little bit. And so I got an LFO. Which one was it? This one here. And I reset the LFO using another MIDI gate coming out of the Digitact. So I actually sequenced this on a separate Digitact track, still sending to channel 11 though, but on D4 I think. Yeah, to reset the LFO, and that way I can sort of get this build with the hats gradually opening and snapping shut again. So I thought that was a cool way to add a bit of interest into the hats. The other thing I've done is this rampage here. When you trigger it, it's just a slow rise and then an immediate fall. And I've run that into the CV for here, the amount of hats to send to the reverb. And so what that gives you is gives like this slight little riser effect, and then I sequenced that in the Digitact using a conditional trig for every, I think, 4th go around or something. It triggers that out on D#4, which will trigger the rampage, which will trigger the riser in the hats. I thought that was just another cute way of adding some interest. So that's the hats. Let's look at the bass. So again, this was sequenced on the Digitact and runs into over here somewhere. Gate, Viot. Is this using the FM operator, is it? Yes. So this is just me playing around with FM synthesis, not doing anything too crazy. Just a wonderful ratio. And then right, so that's the raw sound there with a bit of filter cutoff on it, and then I just ran it through an overdrive to add a bit of fuzz onto it. The tone control and the frequency are mapped to Digitact controls. In the end, I didn't really modify the frequency much. That's what I was originally doing, but I decided that I liked modifying the tone control a little better. It meant I could open it up throughout the song. So. Oh, that has stopped working for some reason, because I need to choose that. So that's just a repeating bass sound, which I quite like. And then for the solo part, that I did sequence some of this into the Digitact, but then I decided I wanted to play it live because it was a bit too quantized on the Digitact. For one, although I did try using some of the micro timing and made it kind of sound like what I wanted, but really I just wanted to improvise this part. The sound is from this XFX wavetable, which I've used before and really like for this kind of easily making a sound like this. So pick something from the wavetable, add a little bit of modulation onto it, and then run it through a pretty simple VCA, VCF setup. One thing I did do was attach the VCF to one of the knobs on the Digitact so I could open it up on the longer notes. For that sort of effect. This would have been better as a mod wheel or aftertouch or something like that, but I don't have any of those at the moment. So knobs on the Digitakt it is. I really do like the ability to map any of the Digitakt knobs to anything on here. It's really cool. So that's that. That's running through a bit of delay and a bit of reverb, but it's mostly the delay that's sort of giving the effect there. So anyway, that's the full thing. Put it all together. That kind of idea. So go have a listen if you're interested, if you haven't already, link in the description. Otherwise, hope you had fun, hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.